And we are back. Ooh, so freaking good. And we have all the speakers back today as well. So freaking good. Before we get started, before we move on, I wanted to share with you all about Xpansion Alchemy. Where did my page go? Here we are. Xpansion Alchemy. You've heard from 10 of the teachers already. And even though we've had a little bit of mishaps today, things happen, it's okay. Because when we work in the quantum, we are flowing and things come to us and we manifest the greatness. Even when things go wrong, it's okay. When things go wrong, especially when they go wrong, it's time for us to look internally and be like, you know what? I've freaking got this. I don't care how the universe is testing me, what it's throwing at me. I've freaking got this because I am a spiritual badass. So I introduce you yet again to Xpansion Alchemy. All that you've been hearing over the last 2 days and tomorrow as well are little previews, little snippets of what you will be learning inside this beautiful, beautiful school. It is a beautiful divine school for souls just like me, just like you, just like Gary, Melissa, Ross, everyone. We are all on the same frequency. Like I was saying, the people that I attract into my horizon are truly stunning, and they all vibrate at the same frequency as my soul vibrates. And we want your soul to vibrate at the same frequency as well, where we all co-create, collaborate, and work together as a community in the realms of spirituality, personal development, health, relationships, and business. And you can feel free to look through all of this website. I will be going through the back end portal of it tomorrow, so you guys can check it out. This price, you guys, is unfreaking believable. You get 15 teachers, 15 master classes for a very, very, very low price. I know how much I charge for just an hour of working with me. Not sure how much of my other teachers charge. This is like a little tiny fraction of the price. $55 monthly. It is incredible. Price does go up on November 11th, 11/11 at 9 p.m. Central Time. All of these teachers you've already met or you will be meeting tomorrow. You can find more information about each one of the teachers. All of their master classes will be in the back-end portal as well. It is time for you to transform, time for you to expand, and time for you to actually step into this soul purpose that you were brought into this earth for, because every single one has a mission bigger than you can even imagine. This is part of my mission. Xpansion Alchemy is part of my mission. I don't know what it's going to be. I still don't know. I'm figuring it out as we go, as we flow, because that's the whole part of working in the quantum. You flow with it, working in that feminine. The feminine has been coming to me so strongly. I shared the story of the ayahuasca yesterday of her showing me the feminine, the pleasure, the play. Tap into some of the pleasure and the play. Fun fact, abundance, money, pleasure, and play all vibrate in the same frequency, So if you can tap into fun and play, you can tap into your money. Your money can grow and we can all expand more. One of my all-time favorite affirmations is the more fun I have, the more money I make. A mentor of mine told me that, and I keep saying that over and over again, because don't you want to add more fun and joy and play and pleasure into your life? I sure do. Work shouldn't be hard. No, do something that is right for your soul, match your frequencies and your vibrations to what you truly want. Be in service, not a servant, be in service. And that's when you will fully expand and grow and transform your life. So I invite you all to Xpansion Alchemy, myself, with these 15 beautiful, beautiful souls that, oh my gosh, I am blessed to have in my horizon. So I thank you all, and I thank you all. One other thing that I wanted to share before we go on to the Q&A section. my brain works much quicker than my actual lips move. So like I stumble over my words a lot. It's funny. I was talking to Nico, who was on yesterday, and he like edits his videos, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like half the time when I'm speaking, because I'm like, I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm just channeling, and my brain works much quicker than my lips could actually move. I don't edit any of my videos. I don't edit any of them. What you get, it is me. It is part of my badassery. It is part of my authenticity. Yeah, sometimes I'm stumble. I'm human, and it is okay. Embrace who you are. Embrace that authenticity. And babe, you've freaking got it. You are a badass, and it's time for you to expand, and it's time for you to transform. One more thing I wanted to share before we move on is testimonials. So inside the Xpansion Alchemy Facebook group, and I'm going to drop the link to that right now, actually, again, in both the Facebook group and the Zoom. Inside the Xpansion Alchemy, not inside the Quantum Maxima, inside our big group, we are having, so I guess someone posted it up there already. Fantastic. I am doing giveaways. I am giving away 1 free month, as well as 1 free year-long membership, a year-long membership inside Xpansion Alchemy, where you can expand, you can grow, all for free. I want you to leave a testimonial of what you thought about it, Quantum Maxima, what you thought about this event. If you didn't like it, let us know. That's okay too. That is part of your right, part of you going through this. Let us know how we can make it better. Let us know what teachers you want, how we can make it better, how we can grow, because we're growing and expanding as well. We want you to be your true authentic self, and let us fully know what you thought about it. So inside Xpansion Alchemy, I will be choosing winners, all 4 winners, on a Friday. The event should end around 5, more or less, depending on how our technical difficulties go or don't go. We will see. I will be selecting winners tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Time. So it should end at 5. I will be selecting winners at 9 p.m. Central Time. So join that Facebook group, write a testimonial, do a video, do whatever you got to do. Let us know what you thought of this event, and we will see you in the Quantum. So let's move on into the questions. Let me pull them up because I had a few of them for you guys. All right. So the first question I have is for Christina. I totally understand the process on how to bring my desired frequency from the quantum. However, I'm struggling to hold it over a longer period of time, over a longer duration. Do you have any tips or advice on how I can allow this to be held in this quantum energy?
Yeah, totally. It's a great question. I think it's important to understand that at the beginning, anything that we start practicing, it will take practice, right? So there's, when we are unconscious about our unconscious habits, but then, it's conscious unconscious, then it's conscious conscious competence, and then it's unconscious competence, right? So whenever you're trying to embody a new way of being, a new habit, we need to hold compassion to ourselves that, hey, at this stage of development, it will take me conscious choice, um, reminding myself and choosing it over and over again in practical ways, and making that decision with your conscious mind every time, um, until it becomes unconscious competence, and that until this new frequency becomes your autopilot, right? So the question is that you're kind of, well, I'm not able to be on automatic embodiment straight away. Well, that's exactly meaning that you are exactly where you need to be, right? So in such a sense, I would say just keep going, and few practical things how to consciously make this choice over and over again until it becomes autopilot is take your phone and put a reminder on it, for example, three times a day, or even more if you can, at when you wake up, 10 o'clock, 12 p.m., and like throughout the day. All right, like for 3 minutes, I will embody my desired reality avatar, and I will see how she operates or he operates, so that you can embody it, right? Ideally, and the longer we do it, and the stronger the intensity of the frequency that was sent through our heart, through our brain, and the feel itself, the faster it will come, right? And the faster it will be, and the easier it will be for you to start embodying it with unconsciously. So just keep going, and yeah, just create some practical steps for you to be able to do it more easily. Some reminders, sticky notes, those kind of things. But yeah, it all of us have gone through this and are going through this, right? With every step of and every level of new embodiment, the next version of self, it takes, conscious choice to, no, this is the reality I choose. No, this is what I will embody. And you keep going and keep going until, hey, I arrived.
Beautiful. Start stepping into that new norm. Thank you, Christina. Next one that I have is for Linda. How has breath work helped some of your clients? And can we start doing this? Is this something that we can do on our own?
Yeah. I have seen amazing results with breathwork in my clients, within my own life as well. It really helps to bring out deep stuff which is within your trauma, negative emotions, and also gives you that clarity, to move forward, to step into your power, to really be anchored in who you are and move forward from there. So it's been one of the most magnificent tools I have added to my toolbox, and yeah, I cannot rave enough about it really. And what was the second part again? If you can do it by yourself. Yes, you can totally do it by yourself. That's why I love it so much, because I'm a big fan of giving people tools they can do at home, because you're not always having your coach next to you, right? You're not always having your facilitator, your mentor, or whoever, is teaching you. You don't have them all the time with you. And if you have a bad day or something is happening, something really, threw you a little bit out of whack, take 15 minutes, go and do some breath work, just really tap into it and say, okay, I'm letting this go now. And you're just doing the breathing, lying down somewhere, and you can do it anywhere. Like my teacher told me, like he would go, and sometimes if he had a shit, he would just go in his car. And it's like, I don't care if people think I'm freaking crazy. Like, if that's what I need, then that's what I do. And I think this is really stepping more into your power. You don't care anymore what other people think. You just do it when you need it. And breath, you have it always with you, you can do it at any time. So yes, go and do it as much as you want.
Yes, the breath work has truly been transformational for me. I have a lot of experience with holotropic breath work, which is much longer. Like it could go up to like 3 freaking hours, but the experience of the transformation that I've felt, that I've had, has just been absolutely incredible. And there's different breathing techniques. Linda just did one, and she's going to be doing multiple other ones throughout Xpansion Alchemy, as well as I think I have one other breathwork coach in there as well. She'll be speaking tomorrow, so you'll experience some of her breathwork techniques. It's slightly different, but all of it connects you to your consciousness, connects you to your heart, connects you to your soul, who you are, and you can truly start transforming your life. If you guys have any other questions for any of the people, start typing them in. I do have several other questions that came through, but if you're on Zoom, I'm on Zoom. If you're on the Facebook group, I'm on Facebook group. Start typing the questions in. There's all the speakers are on today, actually, so fantastic. All right. The next question that I have, either Gary or Ross, is what actually is the infinity matrix that you keep talking about?
I'll take that one, Ross. So the infinity matrix is something that Ross and I coined, I guess, if you will, a while back. And I think let's first talk about what it's not before we dive into what it is. Okay. It certainly isn't a simulated reality in a computer created by a machine. Okay. Right? It isn't designed to drain your energy, your life energy as a power source. And it isn't built to keep you under control for some devious result to mankind. And the reason I bring that up is because when people hear matrix, they think the metaphor of the movie and all those things come into play. It's not a place where we foster or support the concept that we are weak victims of circumstances and we're always being pursued by some ultra powerful and intelligent other. Okay, and in our experience, it's absolutely not a reality where truth is realized based on a this or that philosophy. Okay, it's what we call infinity thinking, and in the infinity matrix, it's a massive upgrade in conceptualizing what total reality is or could be, or who you are within it, and how you can and do play a role in its existence moment to moment, and what the already existing tools and resources, codes and programs that you have access to in order to artfully design the reality you desire. So now that we know what it's not, let me break down by definition, all right, and put together, it comes from dissecting the words themselves individually and then piecing them together again. So essentially, it's a metaphor for experiencing what we call individual reality. All right, so we break it down, the word infinity, it implies all space, all time, all energy, all matter in every direction. Okay, so there's an isness to it, and all that is, if you will. All right, and then the matrix, the part of the matrix definition is an environment or material in which something develops, a surrounding medium or structure. It's something from within, or from which something else originates, develops, or takes form. So putting them together then, the infinity matrix is this environment where something exists, something happens, something takes form, and something is experienced and not experienced moment by moment. And this environment comes with a constant flow of feedback from all the dimensions of your internal matrix to all the directions in dimensions of your external matrix. And you are positioned smack dab in the middle, where they both converge into a place we call now. Okay, it's called a lot of things: space of variations, quantum potential, palace of possibilities. I mean, it's the center point where you are not at the mercy of polarities of internal, external, good, bad, up, down. You're not at the mercy of any of that. Instead, you're firmly seated in the middle of infinite choices. And you are in the most powerful place you could exist, because this is where you create your reality from.
Palace of possibilities. I really like that. So
yeah, well, I can't take credit for that. That's Gary Craig for EFT, right?
ooh, that's such a good one. Palace of
Yeah.
possibilities. So it's funny. So when I was going through my dark night of the soul about a month ago, as many of us were, I had a really deep hypno session with Nico, who was on yesterday, and he's like, "You are rebuilding your palace. You are rebuilding your castle."
Nice.
Yes, it's the palace of possibilities. Like, all possibilities are possible. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. All right. If you have any questions, I am both in the Zoom and on Facebook. Write your questions. We have the speakers still on. So the next question I have is for Melissa. You talk a lot about being authentic, as do I, because that is something very, very important to me. How do you have any practices for how people can become more authentic?
Yeah, thank you, my love. Paying attention to the monkey mind and how it works, right? That's what I call meditation. It's just being in your in your silence and just watching how the mind is just vomiting these old patterns, these old sayings, these old knowings, and then witnessing it without attaching yourself to it, what I call detached observer. Eckhart Tolle talks about this a lot. He was one of my first books, The New Earth. I totally recommend it if you haven't read that yet, guys. Detached observer, just watching it without attaching yourself to it, without creating a story, and then going to the mirror and saying it differently, right? Saying it differently, saying it how you really want it to be more authentic, right? The I'm not enough, turning it into I am enough, right? When you're in the middle of a conversation with somebody and you catch yourself, because we vomit, right? We're programmed, right? And we just vomit things generally in a authentic conversation, but perhaps we're saying something because we're still wearing our mask. We're saying what we need to say, what we must say. Catch yourself and say out loud, oh, you know what? I'm going to shift out of that. I'm going to say something different, and authentically speak your truth in that moment. And you start seeing like the ripple effect of others that are shocked. What? You said something completely opposite of what you just said. Yeah, I'm speaking my truth. I'm practicing my authenticity. And the more you do that, the more you give other people permission to do that, and the more you're just stepping into your own authentic power. It's just practice. Yeah.
Practice, practice, practice. And I will actually be doing some mirror work inside Xpansion Alchemy as well, because mirror work is so powerful, so important. And yeah, we practice, look ourselves in the eyes and truly surrender to all of the programmings, all of the stuff that society has taught us. Look yourself in the eyes, look yourself in the soul, especially naked, loving yourself, embracing yourself, and truly being your true, authentic self. All right. Next question. I've heard, this is either for Gary or Ross. Again, Ross, if you want to take this one, or Gary, whatever. I've heard you talk about infinity thinking. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, I'll grab that. Ross had to run because he had something else he had to get to, so I'll take that too. So infinity thinking is kind of included in the definition of the infinity matrix. Infinity thinking is where we're consistently practicing the act of not being tied to the polarities. So if a good metaphor example that I give all the time is, if I were to bring to the table a glass or a glass with water in it, right? And I was to ask, is that glass half full or half empty? 50% of people are going to say half full, 50% are going to say half empty, right? Well, with infinity thinking, we say, oh no, that's not correct at all. It's actually always full and overflowing, just two different substances. So it's not a this or that, it's a this and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and all of that. And then from that place of choices, we can choose what serves us. Because in the time when if I'm dying of thirst, it's valuable for me to see it as half full. So in the time that it serves me, I can make the choice from an infinite number of choices instead of a this or that option, and to be stuck on that. So infinity thinking is really, it's really getting to a place of consistently non-judgment. It's acceptance of all that is, and that's a practice, right? Because we get caught in all the rights and wrongs and this and all those things. It's a practice to say that, hey, it's showing up in our reality because it's a reflection of something that's within us. And so if we deny it and we block it out, then we're denying a part of us. And another way to think of it is, for the infinite thinking, when I used to talk to clients about them, it's a way to kind of blow their mind a little bit too. Someone's saying, well, I have this pain, right? Whether it's emotional or physical. And I say, okay, rate it, give me a number. Is it out of 0 to 10? What would you say it is? And they say, oh, it's an 8 or 9 or whatever. Okay. So if we say the pain is anger, for example, and they feeling an 8 in anger, the only way you can know you're feeling an 8 in anger is if it's some part of you knows what an 8 in the exact opposite, which is love, it feels like. So it has to hold both of those at the same time, but then it chooses the glass is half full to experience, right? So the infinity thinking is knowing that they're all there. So just because the degree to which you're feeling good, bad exists too, and the good degree to which you're feeling bad, good exists as well. So it's by choice we can choose which one of those in an infinite spectrum of options, and then start to live our life from that place.
It's always a choice, and we always have the choice to make. All right, we still have a few more people on the Facebook Live as well as the Zoom. If you have any final questions, type them in. We have one more question for Melissa, and then we're going to wrap up. So if you have any final questions, please put them in the chats. I'm both on the Zoom and in the Facebook group as well. So, Melissa, how do I allow my sensitivity to become a superpower? Especially right now, there's a lot of turmoil in this world going on. You're experiencing it, I've experienced it, and we're, as a collective, feeling really sensitive. How do we turn that sensitivity into a superpower?
Beautiful. So I believe our sensitivity is a gift, right? And it's actually the guidance, right, that allows us to make the choices that are for our highest good. So turning our sensitivity into a superpower means allowing yourself to recognize that you ain't crazy. Allowing yourself to recognize that it's that sensitivity is allowing you to realize, one second, the sensitivity is coming in. We allow ourselves to recognize that our body is a portal of feeling, right? There's different clairs that exist. There's clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. I'm a clairsentient. I feel everything all the time. And we need to learn how to shut it off, for lack of a better term. We need to learn how to identify and say and choose if we're going to bring that sensitivity into that moment that we need to do the work, right? So for example, when I do medicine work in the forest, sensitivity is all on, right? Because I'm a vessel. I'm a channel for the healing work to come through, to be done for the person that's in front of me, right? So turning it into a superpower, what we do is we feel it. We allow ourselves to be present to it. We allow ourselves, like you mentioned before, like being naked and really feel our bodies, right? Letting go of that shame, letting go of that anger, letting go of that resentment, letting go of that fear, feeling it in order to heal it, right? And when we do such, then we're able to identify when it's coming through. A lot of the times, when I was unaware of all of this, I remember I ran a national campaign. I was a spokesperson. I was on TV. I was surrounded by a lot of energies all the time. And I would feel, I'd be great. I'm ready to go. And all of a sudden I'd enter a room and I would feel stuff. And I thought it was mine and I was taking it on, right? And then I started doing my work of, meditation, dancing, breath work, body work, somatic release, right? All these different gorgeous tools, right, that we can use to start letting go of the trauma. Because a lot of the times we're sensing the trauma of others. We're sensing our own trauma and we're not able to see which is ours and which is not ours. And it's a practice, I'm having a hard time right now putting it into words that make logical sense, but I'm going to bring that into one of the master classes. Thank you. How to really hone in on sensitivity as a superpower. So if that's a way for you guys to come into our gorgeous, program, please do so. Because those of you that are empaths out there, those of you that are HSPs, highly sensitive persons, that's a real thing. And when we learn how to turn that into a superpower and we learn to actually gauge it for our advantage, to really go into our palace of possibilities, then the world is your oyster, right? There really is no glass ceiling anymore. That's just something that's been imprinted in us to allow us to continue feeling small. So, yeah.
Thank you. Again, it goes back to it's all a practice.
Practice. Yeah.
With Xpansion Alchemy, you get to practice all of these tools for as long as you keep your membership open. If you sign up for a month, that's fine. If you sign up for a year, that's fine too. However long you want. Like, this is my passion project. This is something that's going to be on for a very long time, and I'll be bringing more teachers on board as well. So Again, Xpansion Alchemy. It is a divine school of alchemy in the realms of spirituality, personal development, health, relationships, and business. If you are loving what you've been seeing over these last 2 days and tomorrow as well, then I highly, highly recommend you jump on. Just try it. Try it for a month, 2 months, 3 months. Like, you really don't have, at this price point, this entry price point, you really don't have much to lose. You have everything to gain though. So if whoever invited you to Quantum Maxima, go back to them, reach out to them, go back to their links and sign up for Xpansion Alchemy. If I invited you, go to my links. They're everywhere as well. Feel free to DM me if you don't have them. If Melissa invited you, if Gary or Ross invited you, if you came from the biology of belief that I was talking at earlier today, reach out to Gary, reach out to Ross. If any of the other speakers invited you, reach out to them. And that is all that I have for you today. Let me quickly check Facebook one more time. And any final call for questions? It doesn't seem like it. You've had all the time. And I will see you all tomorrow at 1 o'clock Central Time. Thank you, all of the speakers. Thank you, everyone who attended live today. Thank you, everyone who stayed on to the end. Thank you, everyone who had the patience to deal with all of our crazy tech issues today. But that just shows us how resilient every single one of us are, because we prevail no matter what the universe throws at us. We prevail and we still step forward, bringing you the best that we can bring. And this is what we're going to be bringing inside Xpansion Alchemy. Even if stuff goes wrong, even if my cat dies, my hamster dies, whatever, shit happens. We are resilient and we are here to serve you. So on that note, I thank you all and I will see you all tomorrow. Ciao.